Hi everyone. So this is the next series of basically how my life is. Again, this one's gonna get a little bit more potentially triggering just because I'm not entirely sure what everybody's triggers are. People still even say that. But yeah, so let's begin. Okay, so now we're at the time frame where I'm 10, and I don't know how much further past the age of 10 I'm going to get with this because, like I said, I don't want to make these videos super long. Okay, so one morning in June, back in 2008, myself, my brother, and my mom wake up to find my father dead on the couch. He died from, I'm pretty sure it was like officially labeled cardiac arrest. Like, I never saw his death certificate, so I don't know what they labeled it, but basically he had high cholesterol and he had like almost 100% cloggage of his arteries. So yeah, that killed him, and I was in shock. I would say I was in shock for a lot longer than what probably anybody really thinks, because it wasn't until recently, it wasn't until 2 years ago that I actually was able to refer to my father in the past tense. So like, I think I was in shock for probably like the first few months or so, because it didn't really hit me that like he wasn't there, because he did work so much. And it was like, I obviously, like, I cried and everything over it, but it didn't really set in. Like, when it all first happened, I was very like expressionless, and I didn't say much of anything, and I didn't talk to anyone. And because I grew up in a small community, like, everybody was trying to be there for my family, and they were trying to like push me to socialize, which is horrible. Like, it's a really bad idea, because them pushing me to socialize ended up making it, I think, helped make it take longer for me to understand and deal with the things that happened that day. And they wanted me to act as if everything was okay. Like, the community was having a block party that night to celebrate the town's like 400th anniversary or something. And, you know, like, I was gonna go, like, my family, my father and all, we were all gonna go. So my mom didn't go, but they told my mom that she should encourage my brother and I to go. So my brother and I went, and he seemed more upset while there than I think I did, but I ended up leaving. Like, I just kind of straight up left to go look for my mom, and my friend's godfather like came and found me and was like, hey, like, what are you doing? And I was like, I just want to find my mom. Like, I just want to be with my mom. And he ended up taking me to where she was, but they still just kind of continue to be like, oh yeah, like, tell her to come over and like play with so and so, and tell her to go do this and go do that. And like, because of the small community, everybody, like, every single time I saw someone, it was, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry for your loss, which I'm grateful and thankful for. However, at the same time, it was like, I was so confused because I didn't know. I was like, okay, this has happened. And like, in my head, I was already trying to be like, oh, maybe he's not really dead. Like, maybe he faked it. Like, that's how, even when I was 10, like, that's how my brain started to like try and handle it. So for probably the first 2 or 3 years, I convinced myself that he probably wasn't dead, and that he just ran away from my mom, and that when I grew up I would see him and like reunite with him. And it, like, looking back, I kind of realized how sad it was. Like, it was a lot. First off, it was a lot. I'm like walking to work, so I'm waiting at the stoplight. And secondly, it was very, I guess, traumatic. Like, everybody always has said to me, oh, it made you grow up so much faster. Oh, it made this happen. And I never thought that it made me grow up faster, but I know myself, and I know that I have a really old soul. Like, I don't really do things that most kids do my age. So, I don't know. Maybe it did. But, yeah, so, like, the first few years, I pretty much just convinced myself, like, oh, hey, he's just waiting for me to grow up when your mom doesn't have to be in the picture. That's really what I made myself think. And it was weird, like, looking back, it's like, why did I even do that? But at the same time, it's like, I know I did, because I could not handle the truth. I couldn't. I still can't fully. But yeah, this is like 7 minutes long, so I'm gonna end this here. So the next one's just gonna kind of be talking about the next one is gonna talk about how not myself reacted, but how all my family did reacted to the situation. But yeah, this is part 1. There might be many parts to this particular topic, just because it spans over some time, and yeah, it's a lot to talk about. I don't want to miss anything, but yeah, I hope you guys don't hate me for sharing that. If I've offended or upset anyone, I'm sorry, but I warned you guys. Like, I told you what was going to be talked about. So, yeah, bye.